Declaration of Independence, 1776
Now,
AD.
you start multiplying these odds, you start narrowing it down pretty well.
And then it says, concerning the eagle's wings, it says, and it was lifted up from the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. The United States has two symbols. Most nations seem to have one. We have two. We have the eagle. That's our official animal symbol. But we have another symbol, Uncle Sam. The eagle's wings were plucked. It was lifted up from the earth. And a man's heart was lifted up like a man, and a man's heart was given to it. I believe that that refers to Uncle Sam. Now, let's see if we can pull all this back together. I picked up Time magazine on October the 27th of 1980. That was way back when there was trouble in the Gulf, and today we have trouble in the Gulf. But when I picked up the magazine, they had a picture of an eagle and a bear overlooking a globe. And the caption said, "The Gulf, will it explode?" Now, that's what they were worried about in 1980, Eddie. Guess what we're worried about here in 2001?
And what we'll continue to worry about until Jesus returns.
All the way to Armageddon. Yes, so here on the front cover of Time magazine, we have the eagle and the bear. Is this dawning on anyone yet? That on the most widely circulated news magazine in America, they keep using these symbols straight from the Bible, and they don't even know what they're doing. God is manipulating them. You know, God could sue them for copyright infringement, perhaps. But I'll never forget, way back in 1988, you may remember there was a book out, 88 Reasons Why the Lord Will Come, in 1988. And everyone was calling me saying, is this going to happen? There was a man who had written a book stating that the Lord would come September the 10th through September the 13th, 1988. And I told everyone that called me, no, that is not going to happen. However, one man invited me to come to Middleton, Tennessee to do a prophecy conference over this time period, so I did. Actually, I decided to go down September the 9th and stay through the 14th so that if it did happen, I guess I was going to heaven from Tennessee. Nevertheless, on the night of the 9th, I was teaching the lesson that I'm teaching to you right now. After the meeting, we went out to a restaurant to eat. Before we went inside the restaurant, one of the young ladies of the church happened to glance at the dispenser for USA Today newspaper, and she suddenly screamed. She said, "Right there it is." And we all whirled to look. And there on the front of that day's edition of USA Today, it actually was September 9, 1988, I hold a copy of it in my hand, was a picture of Uncle Sam nose to nose with the Russian bear. Now, not only is God on the front page now of the most widely distributed news magazine in America, now he's on the front cover of the most widely distributed newspaper in America. It's like God is everywhere, waving his arm, saying, hey, you don't believe I exist? Here I am. I'm on your coffee table. I'm in your news dispenser. I'm everywhere. I'm trying to get a message through to you. I am coming soon. It's really awesome when you think about it, Eddie.
There's another beast that we want to take a look at, and this is an unusual beast. It's a leopard, but this leopard has 4 heads. What do you make of that?
Well, I was puzzled with the leopard, and I sort of got stuck there when I was attempting to understand these prophecies. This was way back when I was in my 20s. And I'll never forget, I was praying, asking God to help me to understand. And I woke up one morning, I was in Melville, Louisiana, actually, which is the metropolitan area of Melville, if any of you have ever been there. I woke up that morning, it was a Monday, and I was supposed to not be speaking that night. It was a rest day for me. But I woke up and I felt like God spoke to me and said, there's something I want to show you. Go buy a newspaper. Now, just to put your mind at ease, that has never happened to me before. It's never happened to me since. It happened to me one time. But it was so strong that I immediately got out of bed, got myself together, and I said to one of the ladies in Melville, where can I buy a newspaper? And amazingly, she said, I don't know. And I said, how long have you lived here? She said, 25 years. So she obviously didn't follow the news too closely. She said, maybe down here at the local restaurant. So I got in my automobile and went down to the restaurant, and I was so sure that God had spoken to me that I put my money in the newspaper dispenser, pulled out the newspaper, and there on the front page it said, Germany sells Leopard tanks to the Netherlands. And I knew we had an airplane called the Eagle Fighter, and I thought, are you telling me, God, that Germany is the leopard. Well, then I began to investigate because it says in the prophecy that dominion was given to the leopard.
Now I want to interject here. I also wondered about which nation the leopard symbolizes, because I know it is a well-known symbol of African tribes. But when I heard Irvin saying prophecy tells us that it's a country that will have authority and power, it started to make sense because no African nation is equivalent to one of the superpower nations in the world who can play a dominant role in end-time prophecy. I investigated, and according to the information that I found regarding the Leopard tank, I cannot help but to agree with Irvin. Now Wikipedia.org says it's a main battle tank of the German army. Now this is definitely a very strong symbol of power of the German nation. Now next is video clips that I've found about the Leopard tank. Now take a look and then decide for yourself.
Up to now, Leopard battle tanks have demonstrated their reliability under the severe operating conditions of everyday field use. They are also referred to as the Euroleo. After all, they are currently in service with the armed forces of countries ranging from the extreme north all the way to the Mediterranean. The new Leopard 2A5 is today's answer to a changed tactical environment and threat profile.
In the 1970s, the German Army began development of a new generation tank called the Leopard 2. Though sharing a common name with its predecessor, the Leopard 2 was in fact a whole new design and considered by many to be the best tank built today. Like the Abrams and Challenger 2, the Leopard 2 is protected by a thick hide of third-generation composite armor. The use of reactive armor atop the turret provides the Leopard 2 superior protection to the latest in top attack anti-tank munitions. The Leopard 2, like its contemporaries, is fitted with a 120mm smoothbore gun, but with a longer barrel length, it can fire a 20-pound projectile at speeds of over a mile per second. Precision is ensured by a laser rangefinder and a sophisticated stabilization system. The Commander's stabilized panoramic periscope is slaved to the tank's fire control system. This allows the periscope to be used to aim the tank's weapons. The Leopard 2's rough exterior appearance belies its internal complexity. In addition to the driver, there are 3 crewmen. The loader is responsible for handling the tank's ammunition. The gunner aims the 120mm gun and operates the fire controls. And the commander acquires targets and directs the rest of the crew in their duties. Like the Leclerc, the Leopard 2 can employ smoke grenades to mask its position. Despite the technical sophistication of modern tanks, the life of a tank crewman is arduous. There is ammunition to be loaded and a host of other chores to keep a machine like the Leopard 2 in good operating condition. Tanks are also expensive to operate, even in peacetime. A tank will wear out a set of tracks every 2,000 miles, and they cost over $50,000 to replace.